Daddy's a singing scholar. He'd love to meet you. I thought, wonderful Irish hospitality. And I said, all right, my background, hustling like I had enjoyed in September. John was incredulous. Are you mad? In this weather? There'll be no little house in Ireland like Santa tonight. Tell you what, I'd like to get some new material and change from Dublin. How about we go hitchhiking? And as the fellow signature says, we'll meet some of the real people with the imagination's fiery and magnificent intent. So John wangled an invite from Nora, who was sure Daddy loved to meet you. I was a little curious about this Daddy who loved everyone. John and I met in Bewley's for our last cup of coffee before setting out. Hitchhiking, John entertained with take-ups of the characters we met along the way. Molloy with his long Giacometti figure dancing in the soft Irish rain when a lorry driver pulled up. Would you like a lift? If you don't mind me curiosity, he asked me, are you an American? Sure, I worked with an American. Up on the electric, the Shannon. He asked John, are you from Dublin? Sure, I worked with a Dublin man. Up on the electric, the Shannon. It's a hard thing being a stranger in foreign parts. Oh, I know. But I'm a stranger in the old land. I'll tell you, I was going the road when I felt like a jar. There was no pub. So I goes up to this hotel. Yeah, it's a place of a guest house. Yeah, one wants to know what I'm doing, knocking on her door. Yeah, give us a pint, says I. I can't do that, says he. Yeah, well, give me a bottle then, says I. This is not that at all, says I. What is it then, says I. It is just, says she. I am not in a habit of serving people in that attire. Me attire, me clothes, it would appear, me attire was not to her taste. Not to her taste. You know, I was reading in the paper a while back about the hydrogen bomb and the atomic bomb. And sure, it's only a matter of weeks before we're all new to bits. And all she can think of is me attire being to her taste. You're going on the road, hitchhiking your closet. Well, all I can say is, may your attire be to their taste. Well, in Galway, our attire was not to Daddy's taste. We found we were among the uninvited. Aren't you the one who directed Nora here in Riders to the Sea? You know, I'll tell you a grand idea. You could go out to Ireland over the Christmas and see the grand man sings Western World for yourself and sit in Cahir Singh, his chair of stone overlooking the sea. Only the islanders will be there at Christmas, none of them god-awful tourists. The idea fired my imagination. There was a gale blowing up as I walked with John down to the pier. Young islanders were returning from navigating and nursing in England, waiting for the boat. They gave us a look. I saw a shop and I thought I might need some chocolate for courage. A bar of Bourneville, please, I said. A bar? One bar? And you're going to Ireland? You'll get nothing out there, you know. There's nothing out there, only a handful of rocks. And is it that thing you're going out there? What? The thing you're going out in? Sure, a sailor wouldn't go out on a night like this. Sure, what are you going out there for, anyway? To see the beautiful island of Christmas. Christmas or summertime. You wouldn't see 100 yards on a clear day. Good luck to you. He was right about the wild night. But how could I back out now? The island had to be more welcoming than the mainland. I was hoisted down into a current by huge sailors' arms, shook hands with the mate who handed me a bucket, ominous, and one for John, a bucket. There were a dozen of us getting thrown up and down like on a mad seesaw. I felt very sick. I wished I were dead. At the bottom of that angry sea, along with Patch and Seamus and Stephen and Sean and Michael and Barry, all Amoria's sons, from riders to the sea. We reached the pier by divine grace. It took us 5 hours to travel 30 miles. I stumbled with the weakest of sea legs. I believed I was following the group. It was pitch black. I set my foot right off the pier, next up the sea. As I was falling downwards, I was grabbed to safety by an unseen, wonderful islander. We kept together then, elbow to elbow, and made our way to shelter. When John tried to force a glass of port wine into my quivering hands, but I demanded a cup of tea. Here, get this into you, better than medicine. That tea so strong a mouse could dance across it. So you're from America, next parish to ours. So how could you be an American and you so healthy? I didn't feel so very healthy when a plate of salt rashers, eggs, and fried bread was slapped down, cooked in 40 shades of grease. She saw my face. Please God, you'll be able for them in the morning. And how long will this be needing accommodation like? And I remember it was. Now, at that time, company keeping with that lad had not crossed my mind. But she put me downstairs in a room off the pub and stashed John high up in a garret so there'd be no occasion for sin. Patrons were droning out drunken canalias with hundreds of verses. The landlady slipped a hot jar at my feet and praised the singing of the canalias. That does be the Joyces, the sweetest singers in all of Ireland. You'd stand 3 feet in the snow to hear them singing. Next morning, John and I set out for a thatched cottage far into the island, where they would accept strangers from foreign parts. The day moved every 20 minutes through the 4 seasons. On our way, we picked strawberries, wildflowers, exquisite shells, and waded in waves warmed by the westerly wind. We were treated like family. A large bottle of the best whiskey was put down for us on Christmas Eve. The cork was tossed into the fire. Children came in, shy at first. They soon warmed up over sweets and lemonade. Where'd you come from? Pennsylvania? Little boy asked me. Would you show me on the globe my father gave me for Christmas? I traced the route from Pennsylvania to New York City, to Cole, to Dublin, over to Galway, and then to his tiny island. He said, I was to Galway once. Where? Said John. Where did you think I go? Boy, you love Galway. It's not a bad thing to see a bit of the world. Before dawn, the whole town set up for Mass, walking past pure white tallow candles, aglow in every window upstairs and down. The church was like a small stone fort, lit only by white tapers. Men sat together at the back and the women in the front. The service was all in Gaelic, no music whatsoever. So humble, stark, like nowhere else in the world. After Christmas dinner, we met the islanders who welcomed us into their cottages. The priest, his mother, who said proudly, "'Tis a very wonderful thing, having a son a priest, and nice too." The reciter we met, who improvised poetry. The poetries I did learn at school stopped. Here's one. Ere the emerald gleam of the western world was set in the crown of a stranger. You know, I remember the poetries as if it were yesterday. But sure, yesterday, I can't remember it all. It was then honor turned to me. Did you ever, by strange chance, meet my son, the favorite, out there in America, a man by the name of Patrick? He drove a tramp in Boston, Massachusetts for 20 years, but he had no much English all the same. So maybe you wouldn't know it. I wished I could have said, yes, I know your son, your